Hello, my name is David, and I'm doing chapter 12 on printing, and I'm going to talk about how printing has evolved. So, the start of printing came from East Asia. In the 4th century, the Chinese method was paper rubbing. 7th century, the Chinese used carved wooden blocks to manufacture books and medicine. The 11th century, Bi Xing invented a new system that used blocks of clay as writing by having to carve letters on the blocks. So continuing 200 years later, so after Bi Sheng invented his system of printing, Wang Zheng, a Chinese inventor, invented a rotating type frame that furthers the invention of Bi Sheng. This allows the typesetter to have an easier time to pick out the letters or symbols. Bi Sheng had a big impact on the world of printing because without his invention, Wang Sheng would have never thought of the rotating type frame. So these are some of the pictures and how the methods that the Chinese used. So paper rubbing, carve wooden blocks, blocks of clay system, rotating type frame invention. So during the 14th century, the Chinese influence spread through the Islamic and the Europeans. Johannes Gutenberg, inventor of the printing press, had a big impact on the world. So 50 years after Gutenberg invented the printing press, 10 million duplicates of 40,000 titles were manufactured. 100 years later, the Europeans printed more than 2 billion books. And the picture on the bottom right hand side is how the printing press looked like. So the transformation of printing. So the discovery of the internet came into play, which transformed the way we can print things and look at things. So this allowed global investigations of the map. So this made new discoveries and errors of the map. And this caused explorers to go out and fill in the blank of the remaining spots of the map. By explorers doing this, this made traveling easier so that you won't get lost. So printing have on society. A newspaper was created to inform the people what had happened yesterday, just in case they missed some important information. So for example, if football game happened yesterday and you missed it, you can look at the sports page on the newspaper. Also, television having news programs for people to watch instead of them reading the newspaper made people to watch the news instead of reading it. So, because the television having these programs, it is easier for people to receive the information. So radio station also talk about news, but mostly they talk about traffic and weather. The discovery of the internet is what really changed the way people look at the news, which is making the newspaper industry go down. So people now have smartphones which they can look up the information they need, and GPS to look at the map and the location of what they want to go by typing from the start and go, or the start and end. So the evolution of printing even further, so the discovery of 3D printing has allowed us to make the impossible possible, creating miniature 3D sites that allow scientists to have a further knowledge of their field. Doctors having to save many lives by using the 3D printer to create a replica of the inside of our bodies. So for example, the liver, and by them doing this, it will make the system, our body system, work again. So entrepreneurs can also use the system to make new inventions of their needs. So this is how the 3D printing liver look like, and this is how a 3D printer look like. So the 3D printer can cost from $2,000 or $200 to $7,000 or more. Thank you.